Hello and welcome to another episode on Spill It. This show is where we uncover the real stories, the real struggles and relentlessness towards greatness. I am your host, Viyach Chukwudozie. My aim is to build a community that comes together, feel connected with ideas, visions and thoughts that will help us in our daily lifestyle. And today's guest is someone who have achieved incredible success. And I believe that carries so much idea that will help us in our journey towards greatness, to whatsoever success may mean to you. And the person I'm talking about is ArinzeChukwu, the CEO of PM Visuals Entertainment. Well, let me allow him to introduce himself better.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, dear viewer. Whatever time and wherever you are watching us from. My name is ArinzeChukwu. People know me better in the media and entertainment sector as Prime Factor. She said, I'm the CEO of PM Visuals. Yes, basically PM Visuals is an offshoot of Prime Media and Entertainment Hub, right? And then she also talked about a man who has achieved so much for himself. I don't know what I have achieved. What I'm actually doing is to leverage on the strength of every other person around me so we get to build communal success, right? That's basically what I do. I'm just big on youth movement. Okay, thank you, Viyach. Spirit is quite a beautiful one, you know.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I love the relationship we are building. It's so amazing because you were a man of so much ideas and thoughts. And whenever I listen to you, you carry so much idea and you try as much as you can to bring out every ideas and every talent around people that you have come across with. That it's so much amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's just do small exercise, like a small quick one. What will your morning division look like? Like, can you describe your morning division for me in 3 words?
Oh, this is the first time somebody's getting to drill me like this, you know. My morning division, I don't know how best to put it, but it's first a very quiet one, right? By the time I wake up, usually very early in the morning. Oftentimes, if I sleep on time, between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m., I'm awake. Most of the times I just lay on my bed, couch, wherever I'm laid, and I get to say a word of prayer silently, right? Appreciating God for the gift of life and health, right? Sanity and stuff. And then right afterwards, I could have my music playing, worship music, because I'm big on worship songs. Okay, and then I'm thinking through. One is reminiscing events of the previous day, what failed, what worked, what was I not able to achieve, what are my plans for this day, how do I want to go about it, what time should I be out of my bed, what should I start first doing, right? I'm very big on critical thinking, do you understand? I get to think a lot about whatever I want to do and then revisit my past engagements, what failed and what worked. And so what I could make better of it. That's usually how my morning division goes.
That's amazing. So you are trying to tell me you're more of a spiritual man?
Yes, spiritual, yes. Not religious, spiritual, yes. I'm very sensitive when it comes to say spirituality, yeah.
And when you were trying to say that you wake up in the morning, you have already calculated yourself and you make use of your time very, very well.
That's the clause where most times people get from me. I like being very factual. People get to get maybe carried away, right? That I said I get to think through my day. Doesn't necessarily mean that all the time I stick to what I've thought.
Yeah.
You know, most times we hear people talk about that and we are like, but me, I cannot stick to something. I can't stick to my plan. Usually we get interrupted. Usually you even get to interrupt yourself.
Yes.
Possibly because you felt you were not attentive enough in the morning when you were doing that thinking, right? So I do my best to think through, stick to my plans, yes. But when there is need for an alteration, when there is need for a shift, or when a shift even happens without me planning for it, I get to know that it has happened. If it's something I now need to readjust, I readjust. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm perfect on every of my day-to-day plannings.
Okay. So from what you have said, you maximize your time very well.
Essentially, and youthfulness. That's the theme of my last,
your last
conference. Yes, maximizing time and youthfulness.
Wow, yes. I'm coming to that because I packaged a lot for you for that. But like seeing you for like 5 years, you have been doing so well for yourself, and you organize this program back to back for like 3 years, and they are all wonderful, massive turnout for you. And when you talk about the speakers are not just anyhow guests. They are not anyhow speakers. These are the speakers who have achieved a lot in life.
Tangible.
Something tangible, definitely. Yes, something tangible in life, and they all achieved it at a very young age. So my question is, can you please tell us what drives you?
Oh, okay. Like I said earlier, what drives me is seeing people like me, young persons, thrive, succeed, like she was talking about the conferences we, not just me actually, even if maybe I headlined them, I've pioneered so far. We pioneered them to have people around us, to have people in our system, in our community, to also benefit from the wealth of experience and expertise of our resource persons, right? Being a young man in his 30s, I've failed at many things at a very young age. I succeeded at some, I veered off at some point in time in my life, made some mistakes, prospered in some, but truth is, before now, it has been a lot of regrets, by way of mistakes and bad choices, wrong choices. And when God helped me to find my place around and make a U-turn to become better, I decided to see as much as I can express my passion, ensuring that people around me, people coming behind me, don't get to make some of the mistakes I made. Because if not for God's grace, I tell you, it would have been very disastrous, right? So what drives me is just to see the community of youths, community of young persons doing very well, see young people thrive. And truth is, a number of persons are thriving. So I now use my strength as a communicator, as a strong advocate, to reach out to these young persons who are even way ahead of me, right? To now bring them into some of the conferences I do to speak to the audience, right? I just like to see the youth do well. That's just it. Young people generally, youth, teens, young people.
Interesting. You focused more on investing on youth.
Young people, just say young people, youth, teenagers, young people.
To focus on young people, for them to strive and not to make the same mistake you have made in life. Okay, well, that brings us...
Not just the same mistakes I made, not to make some avoidable... Mistakes are inevitable, right?
Yes.
But there are some mistakes that are avoidable, so...
And some of the youths are really fighting this thing called decision fatigue. Well, we will still come down to that, but before then, please, can you just explain what maximizing time and youthfulness means? Whenever you hear that, what does it mean to you?
Oh, that's quite a huge one. Maximizing time and youthfulness, it's for me, is the sum of the life of a youth, of a young person.
Okay.
Because two things are essential. Time is something we cannot decide, right? Youthfulness or youthful stage is a season you cannot keep for life.
Yes.
It's a phase, so it comes and it goes, just like you would have the rainy season, the harmattan, the winter, and all of that, Now, the essence of the just concluded conference, the Eagles Assembly 2025, with that theme, maximizing time and youthfulness, is to educate young people on the essentials of timeliness, doing whatever you ought to do when you should do them. The principle of on time. in that program, we were privileged to have His Excellency Dr. Valentine Ozigbo talk.
Yes.
And then one of the things that stood out for me when he was talking was when he mentioned that he never traveled abroad, never did anything tangible, right? But was just trying to build himself. His first traveling abroad was at the age of 30 or 31 thereabouts, and he had to travel with his family, his wife and child, right? Mm-hmm. And it was an all expense paid trip. So that simply means that even as much as yes, he may not have had anything tangible for himself as it were then, but he was preparing himself for whatever he has aimed to achieve. So I'm saying this to say that if young people can learn the art of managing their time well, mitigating frivolities, right? And then ensuring that they invest their energy as young persons rightfully. And whatever you fail to do now will wait for you in the future. You'll still have to revisit to do them. So let's know that time and youthfulness is a season that we cannot hold on to for life. So as much as possible, let's do whatever we can do now to maximize that season.
Yes. So you mentioned Val Ozigbo. Okay, fine. Everybody was so surprised when you posted him the first time. I will definitely tell you the truth. I also saw it.
Felt like he was not going to come.
Yes, people were saying it. That is not true. How you just want to use it and pull out people, to come to your event.
Yes.
But on that day, all of a sudden, pow, he is there. So, I just want to know, how did you come across this, or how did this relationship started? Where did you meet him, and you now start this relationship with him? To an extent, he have to forget about everything he was doing that day, and he came to your event.
And he didn't just come; he stayed through. Came on time and stayed through, right?
Yes.
First off, a very big shout out to. He's not just my boss, he's a boss to many young persons, a mentor to many young persons, a leader to many young persons, a model to the younger generation. His Excellency Dr. Val Ozigbo is quite a man of impeccable character, I've not really had a very strong relationship with him before then. That's what people don't know, right?
Wow.
I've just been a lover of him from a distance. If there were people that knew that I loved him, maybe it was just his orderlies, his aides, that knew that I was a big-time lover of His Excellency Dr. Valentine Ozigbo, but we never had any strong interaction,
No.
So when it became necessary that I would have to reach out to him for the Eagles Assembly, I had to write him a letter, sent it through his personal assistant, right? I had his number. At some point, I had to now write him on WhatsApp directly, and he responded. We got talking about it, and a whole lot of story, right? But the beautiful thing is that he came, and came quite on time, right? He stayed for days waiting for that program to happen before he would travel back, and it was quite an impressive one, I tell you. I give it to him. Thank you, not just him, but since you mentioned him, His Excellency, thank you so much, sir, from the depth of my heart. Like you heard her say, it was not just how many people did not believe that he was going to come.
Yes.
And he came and came through indeed. Thank you, sir.
Very nice. And one thing I noticed about him that day that he came, he's a very humble man.
So it's not just about His Excellency. I also want to give a very big shout out to Archbishop Viyach Chukwudozie, the CEO of Pine Leaf Estate. I want to thank Comrade Umasi Wabumneme, CEO of Elevated Big Group. I want to thank High Chief Engineer Kingsley Obika, the CEO of Rocklink Estates. I want to thank Brother Benjamin Oyekunle. He is the CEO of Rio Realty Limited. A very big thanks to Mrs. Amara Mojek, the FIDA chairperson of Anambra State, Comrade Isjukwu Asakwe, Barrister Francisca Lindes and Ago, a whole lot of them, Barrister Kenechukwu, Chief Mwachukwu Siri Okechukwu, the CEO of Gemstone Water. As a matter of fact, even is a very big time supporter of young persons. You know, a whole lot of persons to thank. Super. I want to thank Unique Rentals, Barrister Uchenna Ajato. These are men actually that has been with me from the onset of my conferences and programs in Oka, right? And all the associates, Chuki, GSS, right?
Wow.
Dubai Estate, my own very good friend, that anytime I remember him now I feel bad because of the story surrounding him. Big Ben, okay, a whole lot. I don't want to go emotional now, so thank you.
Because if we keep talking about all of them, it's have a lot of things to do with you.
Exactly.
Yes. And even big shout out to Big Ben, like you said. I could remember last 2 episodes.
Last year, actually.
Yeah, last year, yes. He was there. And he said something very mindful that even if you are there, at the end of the whole stuff, what he said is what you are going to go home with. He said, think big, start small. And that quote alone, it strikes to everybody. Whenever you hear it, you know that you need to start now and you will do it now. I'm so sorry about the whole story that you talked about.
No, it's fine.
But all thanks to God, He knows the best. So, you know, when you talked about all those people, you didn't just wake up one morning and start meeting them. You have so much passion and so much purpose in you. Because it's the purpose you have in you that connects you to them. Because if you don't have that purpose and where you are heading to in life, definitely you're not going to create that kind of relationship with them. So what I want to know is, what helped you in life for you to understand your purpose in life?
Okay, I don't know how best to answer that. Sorry, I'm already a little bit sober now talking about my friend. One of the things that will help you to connect to people, even the scripture talks about it, say that when man diligent in his craft, in his work, he will not stand before men, he will stand before kings. All right. So I'm saying this to say I was able to actually link up. One is having understood who I am and the strength of my gifting. 2, the audacity to talk to men that matters. The courage and confidence, knowing what I want to talk about, right? And also having built myself strong enough for people that matter to want to associate with me. Because one thing is to know yourself and also build yourself into that person that those people you want to connect with can feel safe adopting you into their system or circle.
Yeah.
Right? And also having a language that they understand, a language that they would want to be identified with. All right, so that was one thing that helped me. I had to also over time get to study them. Okay. How they operate, what do they like, what kind of languages are they familiar with, you get. So it would help you to know how to talk to whoever you want to talk to. That's one thing that helped me.
Okay, and that's what helps you to find your purpose in life, because where you are heading to, it's quite a huge one. It's not everybody that will do that.
For my purpose, one of the things that helped me to identify my purpose, God, yes, experiences.
Wow.
And then I found out by virtue of studies and listening to people, not just how is it called again, motivational speeches.
Yes.
I discovered that those things I do with joy, irrespective of my losses or gain,
yes,
they became my driving force. Like the Eagles Assembly that just ended, people thought because His Excellency came, this person came, that money don't come every year. No. At some point we had to source for funds to clear some of the debts we incurred, right? Mm-hmm. But I was happy because of the testimonies and reviews that came from that program.
So what do you have to say to people that are struggling with decision fatigue, procrastination? They don't know what they want, or maybe they know what they want, but they haven't decided this is where I'm heading to, or to find purpose. What do you have to tell them?
It's very simple. There's no best time to do anything. The best time to do whatever you want to do is now.
Yes.
So start. do it anyhow, but do it. Get your information right, study what you want to do, learn the hacks of what you want to venture into and venture into it. I'll tell you the simple truth. I've made a hell of mistakes when it comes to investment, resources and stuff. People get to even think I'm senseless, right? But if I'm convinced in my spirit, I give it a try, whether it works or not. If it doesn't work, I come back and I revisit it again. All right, so do it and do it now. As a matter of fact, you need to maximize your time and your youthfulness.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you on this episode. It's very, very wonderful to be with you. I really appreciate. I learned a lot talking to you. Definitely, I'm going home with a lot of things. So finally, you guys have heard from him, and all I have to tell you is you don't need to waste time. All you need to do is to start now. Rebrand yourself. Forget about all the decisions. Don't think too much. Pick up from where you have to pick up and believe in yourself. That's the number one thing you should know. Believe in yourself and start now. Definitely, you will get to where you want to be in life. See you same time next week.